Okay, this is Justin with Targeting Alpha, back with another video. So this video comes from one of my followers and listeners, and the question that he had was, what time frames do I use to trade with? So, and I remember back when I first got going, this was a question that I had too, is what time frames is everybody using? So I kind of wanted to make a quick video tonight and touch on that. I just pulled up a random stock, Roku, here, just to kind of use it as an example. But the short answer to this question is really all of them. So, a lot of traders think that there is some kind of secret. Oh, you use a 5-minute chart, you use a 920 cross on the EMAs, and every time that hits. So it's just kind of a misconception. So I kind of want to dispel that myth a little bit and, kind of show you how I break down a stock and the different time frames that I use. So, and I really do this whether I'm swing trading or day trading. I kind of go through the same process. So now if you're a long-term investor and you're looking to, invest for a very long period of time, then maybe you would want to go with a longer time frame and break down or spot the trend on a monthly basis. But where I usually start is a weekly. So, and what I use the weekly for is just to kind of make sure that the trend is still intact and to spot the trend of the stock. So, for instance, on a weekly chart here, I pull a trend line, and as you can see here, this trend line, it looks like there's a strong pivot off of here. Now that doesn't mean it's going to continue up to 176 or anything like that, but this is kind of a level to watch. So if this stock were to start to roll over, you would look at this trend line as a possible support that it would find here. Or if it broke down through this trend line on a weekly, then it could spell another move down. So I do use the weekly. Usually if you get an indicator on the weekly, it's a pretty strong indicator of what's going to happen with the big picture of the stock. So the other thing that I'll do on a weekly here is I'll start to pull in some price levels. So if you just click on your drawing tool, and the way you get to this tool is either up here in your drawing set, or if you click the center button on your mouse, it pulls up your drawing tools. So I'll pull a price level here. You can see that there's might be some good support there. Might have some good support there. You saw some resistance here on this candle at this level and this level. So you maybe draw price level somewhere around there. And then I come over to the daily chart. And once on the daily chart here, I'll do the same thing. I'll start to pull some trend lines. As you can see, the trend's kind of holding. It's curling up off this trend here on the daily. So looks like it's getting some good support at the weekly level and also the daily level here. So that, to me, seeing this kind of uptrend is, and through this process too, what you want to look at too is other indicators. So I'll look over to the RSI and I'll say, okay, well, it's oversold here on the RSI, and then it had a nice move from 26 to 74. It's kind of, coming out of a little bit of an oversold tick here. Hasn't really gone completely oversold like it did back here, but you can kind of get the picture. Also, a daily chart's a good time to kind of mark what the earnings date is. Some people like to play earnings, some people like to stay away from them, so you can kind of mentally note there where the earnings of the stock's going to be. And also look for any other EMAs that are acting as support or resistance. As you can see here, this 50 EMA on a daily, it acted as some good support. So I would look at that as that may act as some good resistance. So if we were to break out of this level and head up, that would kind of be the first place you're looking at kind of resistance, maybe at this gap fill too. So anytime there's a gap fill, I'll always pull up and mark it on my chart with a price level. And then from there, once you're on the daily, I can break it down to 20-day hourly. And then from 20-day hourly, I'll start to pull some trend lines on it as well. Now, as you kind of move into these different time frames, especially when you start to get into the intraday time frames, some of your trend lines drawn on the weekly or the daily chart are going to start to skew some because it adds in your after hours movement here. And just on different time frames, you're going to get some type of inconsistencies with your trend lines. So, again, the weekly and the daily time frame is just for kind of picking out the trend, picking out, okay, I think this is going to move up, or I think this is going to move down. And the price levels, you can kind of look at those. As you can see, you had some price level action here at this 109.02, holding as some resistance. So, if you have a breakup over that, you could see a move up to 117. So I'll get over to the hourly chart, and quick little trick here. Sometimes when you get these stocks that sell off quick, it can really skew your charts, and it makes it hard sometimes to kind of draw trends because everything gets so small. So, I'll just kind of crop it in here. And then the other thing that I'll do is if you click right here on the right side and just make a slight movement of the chart, you can actually pull from the top here and hold your mouse down and drag to the bottom, and that will give you a better view of things for drawing your trend lines. Now moving from the hourly down to the 5-minute. Draw you another little trend line here. So this is where I like to make my entries off of the 5-minute. Sometimes I'll make my entries off a minute chart, but if you look at this chart on a minute, it just kind of gets a little choppy. So to me, with a stock like this, I would look more at this 5-minute chart. So draw another price level here. You had some resistance here. 3 times hit, it broke up through, came down, kind of tested it right there. So maybe draw another little price level there. So you could kind of watch this stock on a day trade to kind of move down towards these levels. And I would kind of look for this to converge into this trend line here. So you get a nice move down, into that trend line, into this 104.26 area, or if it takes a little longer to develop, maybe the 105 range here. And that's how I would trade this, on a day trade. The other thing, again, always look at your indicators too. So, looking for, let me go back to this hourly chart here. As you can see, RSI is really not playing a big factor on this hourly chart. You're not really getting the oversold levels and a nice move up per se. So pull up a 15-minute chart. Still not much here. Let's try go back to the 5-minute chart. So yeah, RSI is not really showing much of an indicator here on this stock when you break it down onto an intraday basis. So, but yeah, you just kind of look through all these time frames, so to get the big picture, and then kind of drill down to wherever you're going to try to trade this. I mean, if you're a day trader looking for a quick scalp trade, you can try to play a move off one of these spots and a move up to the 109. If you're looking for a longer term swing trade, maybe you're more comfortable waiting for this trend line to see how that develops and get a confirmation off of that trend line. Or maybe even looking for a breakout of this daily level. Somewhere around here, the 111. But I definitely think this is wanting to fill this gap to 118. It's yet to be seen if that will happen or not. Obviously do your own due diligence. Don't let me make my opinions something that you go with here. But, looking at this on the daily, as you see the RSI, the last time this went oversold on the daily, I mean, you had your parabolic run up. So, it's just now coming out of this oversold area. So I do think it's got a lot of support here for a swing trade. But I hope that answers your question. Again, the best answer is just all of them. So start with your longer time frames and dive down in deeper into the shorter time frames and intraday time frames. But I will be making hopefully some more detailed videos on indicators, maybe with some better examples than this. I just kind of pulled this up at random to try to just break down the time frames. But if you like this video, please comment with any suggestions of potentially videos in the future I could do to help you guys out. Also subscribe to my channel and like this video. But hope you all have a good one and good luck trading tomorrow.